to hear a buyer saying, thank you for finding me a property.
Okay, so what's the common practice or what's the common trend coming out because of the lack of education that you find with most of the sellers or the buyers? What is it that you normally pick up that is the common trend?
We find that people, when they want to sign a contract that binds them to buy a certain property that they like, you find that they bring cash up front.
Okay.
Which is not supposed to be the case. I have to be honest, sorry to my colleagues that out there who I might be offending. That is not the right way to follow. Yeah, because the whole transaction, procedure is done by the banks with the attorneys, and we're not involved there.
Okay. Do you on a regular basis go in and do talks on these things to people who are interested? Do you provide any such education?
We do. I personally, as the only agent that works in the black areas, I do as many presentations in churches as possible to see to it that our people are not being misled, our people follow the right route towards purchasing their properties.
Okay. Actually, very interesting that you should say that, because I think that we need more people like you to go and do this exercise and educate people about the right to sell and how to sell and where to sign, because I think we've sort of forgotten about them.
Exactly.
And it's kind of sad that we have. Okay, so we're going to be talking about the subsidy, the FLISP subsidy in just a moment. And in your role as an agent, what sort of challenges do you face normally, apart from the lack of education?
One of the challenges that they're like in everyday challenges that I come across is to find that the seller wants a certain price for the property, which is not actually market related.
Yeah.
So I urge our people there to trust our judgment and our valuations.
I must ask you that question, because I think that a lot of people normally do a thumb suck and they've got a 2 or 3 bedroom home and they say, you know what, my house is worth 350,000 or 400,000 given the demarcated area. How do people go about looking at evaluating their property?
What they normally do, the sellers in this case, they look at the property junction, the newspaper that we use to advertise our properties, and count the number of bedrooms that are there and compare to the property that he or she is selling and relate the prices, take that price, put into his property, which is not always the case.
Yeah.
Because at some point you might find that the earth size is not the same as with his property, which is also another factor that we take into account. And like, how does the house look? Is it modern? Is it old house and stuff like that? Because you can see that on the newspaper, and even on the website you can judge through that.
Okay. All right, we'll further chat with Bradley in just a moment and find out more about the subsidy he's been alluding to, this FLISP subsidy. Sounds like a mouthful, doesn't it? We'll find out more right after the break. Welcome back. I'm joined in studio by Bradley Nkewuse, who is the agent for Remax Independent. Now, you were talking about the FLISP program. Would you care to explain?
FLISP, Salvin, means Finance Linked Individual Subsidy Program, which is a subsidy that is meant to assist the gap market or the middle income earners. Those are people whose income is between 3,500 to 15,000 a month.
Okay. And what sort of subsidies are they open to?
This subsidy allows them, working with us, of course, allows them to buy property, which then the Department of Human Settlements comes in, depending on how much that individual earns, from 3,500 to 15,000, and then they assist them with a certain amount, from 10,100 rands to 87,000.
Okay, so there is a ceiling figure, or there is a capping on this subsidy, isn't there?
Yeah.
Okay. Does this then also limit them to certain areas?
No, there's no limitation as far as to where the buyer wants to buy the property. Yeah.
Okay, so when was this program introduced?
It was introduced early last year, around about March. We were at some Strand Hotel where there were all the stakeholders that are involved in property, the attorneys, Department of Human Settlements, even our board is EAB for estate agents. And then it was introduced in March, and then I went away with it and I started working with it, and those I've managed to assist, they're very, very excited about this program.
I wanted to ask you, why was this introduced in the first place? I mean, surely there are people with disposable income. Did you see there was a need, and how did this come about?
There's a big need for this subsidy. That's why people are so excited, and some of them, they ask me about this flip immediately when I talk to them about property and to buy and to sell and stuff like that.